statistics tell us that ZNBC News is highly watched. And according to Ipsos, about 7 million people stay close to ZNBC. When I entered studio at 18:30, I find DJ Daz. There's nothing good that has come out of Zambian engineers, for example.
So someone shot this Zambian
Engineers down. That's because Zambians may not fit in the description. There was a time when you could call someone and they would say they are busy. But you can never be so busy that you can't find time to do certain things.
How did you meet your wife?
An amazing story. It's a pity. My first wife died. So it's my daughter that made me meet my wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leaving ZNBC, it's possible. I was fired from Trade Kings.
The national quiz for student nurses diploma. What are we expecting?
We are going to witness the battle of brains in there. Get ready for an electric atmosphere.
Welcome to the Smart Podcast, where healthcare meets hustle. Each week, we bring you inspiring stories from nurses who've turned their clinical expertise into thriving businesses, innovative startups, and impactful ventures. Our guests share insights, challenges, and triumphs of merging compassion with commerce. Whether you're looking to elevate your nursing career or embark on an entrepreneurial journey, the Smart Podcast is your go-to resource for motivation and actionable advice.
Good afternoon, our dear viewers, and welcome to the Smart Podcast. Of course, this is one of the special podcasts you get to see around where we discuss professional career charts. And of course, we get to have conversations with memorable personalities from all different sectors and professions around the country. And interestingly, today I'm joined by, of course, a face familiar to most of us, known by different names. I call him Uncle Sam. For others, it might be a newscaster. For others, it might be a radio DJ. Uncle Sam, welcome to the Smart Podcast.
Call me Sam. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure and an honor to be part of this podcast.
Thank you, and thank you very much, Sam, for joining us on the Smart Podcast.
Pleasure.
Yeah, you've been in the media for quite a long time. In our side chat, you had told me that you've been in the media for over 20 years now.
Absolutely. Yeah, pretty much that, even more than anything. I say 22 because I started trying to be a media person when I was still in high school. Yeah, so during those days of high school, I used to frequent ZNBC, and with a lot of hope that one day I could make it and be part of the establishment, which now I am, and safe to say that the rest is history. So during those high school days, I could frequent not as an employee per se, but an enthusiast of broadcasting industry. And we used to have a club called the Radio 4 Fan Club. The club was open for every individual in the community who wished they could be part of a movement that advocates for the training of future media personalities. When I was in school at St. Stephen's Secondary School, one of the schools, private schools in Matero then, I doubt if it does exist today, my friends knew that I had passion for media. And for sure, I developed the passion to want to become a media person when I was in grade 8, 9. And then when I moved to that school, grade 10, 11, 12, my friends knew that I had that passion. I was a member of the debate club, and then I was part of a team that formulated the press club at the school. And because of such activities, they knew what I had wanted to become after school. Some friends that knew of the Radio 4 Fan Club are the ones that introduced me to the club. They told me, you want to become a media person and we can see your works. Why don't you try out, visit ZNBC, because there then you can meet your like-minded. One of my friends then introduced me to the club, and it is from there that the person we are looking at today was birthed.
Interesting, quite an interesting journey. From high school, you are trek into mass media. What was the motivation behind that sacrifice you are making?
The motivation was believing that I'm built to be a media person. I think and I believe that that is one thing that's kept me going. If I didn't have the conviction that I could make it as a media person, I tell you, I could have dropped out even within the first month of having been introduced to the Radio 4 fan club. So what happened was that when I was in high school and heading into completion of grade 12, I started working with a contractor that was building houses for the directors of Trade Kings. Yeah, and I was into construction, so I was a mortar boy, a darker boy as they call it.
That's
gardening
after secondary school.
Immediately after secondary school. But I had already started going to ZNBC when I was still in high school.
Yes.
When I started working, it meant that I needed to cut on going to ZNBC so I could focus on work. The good thing is, with that type of work, it's not like your usual permanent job. There are times when there's no cement, there's no sand, there's no blocks. They could say, okay, today we'll work half day. Let's just dig trenches. And so, I don't know if you are familiar with the mukwazo. They could measure, like, okay, some today you dig 6 meters from here to there.
Yes.
2 meters down, then maybe 5 meters this way. Once you are done, it doesn't matter what time you finish, then you're off. When such a thing happens, the moment you are given that, okay, today it's up to there, you make sure that, and if I knew that on that day I'm supposed to be at ZNBC, I would make sure that I work like I don't know.
So you finished?
Yes, I finished as soon as I can. In maybe 2-3 hours I'm done. And that was in Emmersdale then. So I could move from Emmersdale. Immediately I'm done with my portion, move from Emmersdale onto Mass Media Complex to go and do what I could do. So it's the conviction, because of that nature of that job, I wasn't going to manage. And then from being in the construction, when we were done with the project of constructing houses, we were moved into the main plant, Trade Kings, making of boom, the paste that you love to wash.
Yeah.
So I was part of the team that used to make the boom paste. So I was switched to work full time now in the paste plant. Now, the peculiar thing again in the paste plant was that we had a week of day and a week of night shifts. So we were rotating like that. When I'm working day shift, it meant that I needed to miss at ZNBC the whole week. If I'm working night shift, I could go to ZNBC during the day and then in the night go to my full-time job. And that is where I started having a lot of difficulties because sometimes I'm so exhausted. Imagine you walk, I used to stay in Chipata compound. You walk from Chipata compound to Mumbwa Road. That's where Trade Kings is.
Yes.
And then from Mumbwa Road, I needed to trek to ZNBC on foot, and then pass through arcades onto Olympia Park Garden to Chipata compound. So it was a triangle like that.
Yeah.
It used to be very exhausting. Because of the belief, I conquered that challenge, and here I am today.
Wow, well done.
Thank you.
And past 22 years now down the line, still in the practice.
It is.
And I think most of us have been seeing you on TV, media face, popular face, hosting, of course, national events. And that's because of the belief and the passion you've attributed to. But all this while, what are some of the memorable opportunities or instances you can point at during your stay at ZNBC?
The most memorable, I do not forget, is the day that I was called by one of the human resource personnel at ZNBC. I had been going to ZNBC for 8 years to do voluntary work.
Without anything?
Without nothing. And to just learn and in anticipation of getting a job. And then one day, a human resource practitioner, one of them called me and said, Mr. Machishi, of course they had known me now.
Yes.
But for formality's sake, is this Mr. Machishi?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay, we are glad to inform you that now you can come and pick up your letter of offer of employment as a part-time radio announcer. That was memorable because I knew that my life had turned around now, officially. And that was on June 2012.
Wow.
that was the turning point. For me, that one stands out as one of the most memorable. And then, of course, the second one is in October of the same year, when now I was given a letter to officially confirm me as a full-time employee of ZNBC. That made me now say, okay, now I'm settled, I've achieved what I could. But over time, 2022 will remain out as another memorable year, because in that year, November, I hosted an international event that I thought I couldn't host. We had 4 presidents there. President of Namibia, President of Zimbabwe, President of Botswana, and the host president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. It was an World International Children's Day. So 4 countries, they rotate actually presidents hosting the same event. It was like 3 days to go. I received a call from the big office that we want you to host the event. I've never hosted such a big event.
Yeah, yes.
Apart from just weddings. Yes. Just weddings and things like that. And so when I went, our rehearsal place was the United Nations Systems Office in Zambia. Yeah. Now, you can imagine, because of the nature of my job, newscasting, programming, and things like that, people already had this perception that he can't fail. When we were doing the rehearsals, I was supposed to groom 2 presenters, one from Botswana and one from Zambia, a boy and a girl. I needed to groom them so that they could be co-hosting with me. They could be chipping in here and there. The Zambian girl, it was okay because I had that interaction with her. On the actual day, in the morning, the Botswana boy came in. And then I had to groom all of them just hours before the event kicked off. That one stands out as one big event. I didn't even know, how will I open? What will I have to say? Yeah, 4 presidents are there. Yeah, for me that was a rare honor and privilege. And I thank the system that thought I could do it. After the event, we shook hands with the big people, the ministers. They thought I had done a remarkable job. Yeah, so that one also stands out. But most recently, again, on a bigger scale, the United Nations finally, through the Zambian Genius Program, which most people could have watched, they picked me to be one of the 24 called the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals supporters. It's a big thing, yeah, but we are called as supporters of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. In particular, my SDG is SDG number 9, which advocates for making sure that technology innovations actualized by the year 2030. So those are some of the memorable, some of them.
Oh yeah, no, quite big, and of course speaks to the efforts and of course the input in you've made in the media industry. Now let's go back to your casting. Just fill us in. How has been your experience casting the menus? How is the setup? How do you feel? You're going live on the national broadcaster, over thousands of people watching you.
Statistics tell us that ZNBC News is highly watched. And according to Ipsos, about 7 million people stay glued to ZNBC TV via television. Now add up to now the viewers that we have joining us via mobile phone platforms. So we are speaking well over that number. It's a huge task, bearing in mind that it's a national duty you are casting to the nation. Over time, you begin to get used to it, and then you may want to take it lightly, like, I do this every day, let's just do it as normal. With me, that's not the case. The first time I was called, I wasn't prompted that I'm going to read the menus at 19 hours. I used to read TV2 News and radio news. But on this day, I had knocked off. Then I received a call from then news anchor Chitalumlenga. And she says, you are coming to cast the news on 19 hours, so the driver will come and pick you up. I used to stay in Kabata, just close by. Then I was picked back to office. And then when I went in there, she had a pre-chat with me before 19 hours. She told me, these are the expectations, and you have what it takes, but apply yourself. When I entered studio at 18:30, I find DJ Dazo Yes, the Galactico himself is seated there. I'm like, wow. So I'm going to be paired with the legendary himself. Yeah, that really made me feel a little bit like, am I worthy to be on the same set with him? I remembered what Daru told me, you are going to read with someone that's seasoned, but remember that the moment you say one Zambia, one nation, there's going to be a time when it's you to read. The camera is going to be on you. Then it's up to you, make or break it. She told me straight and point blank. It's how you are going to take it that's going to determine whether or not we'll put you back there. Then I said, okay, cool. And for sure, when I went in there, we had a pre-chat with Mr. Mtavi, and then the news started. I was looking forward to hearing what would happen after that. After the news, I received some calls from people that thought I did well, but I looked forward to hearing it from the inner circles, those that were around, to say, you've done well or you have not done well, but it went quiet. Then
you kept wondering if you had done.
Did I do good? Then somebody tells me, you know what? If nobody says anything, then you're okay. Then I took it, okay, we're good. Before I knew it, I was put back on set, and here we are today. Up to date, when I'm entering the news, I always think before I say something. The first words are very critical to starting my broadcast of news. I always give myself maybe a minute or two to just stay quiet. I'll have a colleague there. I'll just stay quiet, mute like this. I will be looking around. I'm looking for what am I going to say? And then how will I apply myself? What voice projection do I need? And am I just in the mood today? And things like that. The thing that I don't do is to think of home, think of anybody else when I'm there. At least for 1 hour, I say, let me park all the problems that I have, let them be aside. Let's focus on the job. There's always those knaves before you get into a broadcast like that one. And I believe it's normal. Everyone is supposed to have it, because if you take it for granted, then you'll mess it up.
Interesting. And I think for most of us who've watched you cast the news, you do a very good job. I think the casting is perfect, top notch.
Thank you.
You're a legend now.
It's work in progress.
Yeah, training the upcoming casters.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll come for more training from you. You had mentioned earlier on you being a support of part of the Sustainable Development Goals, specifically goal number 9, talks of technology innovation. Speaks to some of the creatives you've brought in. Usually when we see people for a long time seated at an organization, we say they so much lack the creativity part, because they are so used, they just want to do the usual things, and they do not want to improve in their work, in their line of duty, so that work keeps on moving efficiently. That is not the case with you, because we have seen a lot of innovations with regards to the programs you are coming up, and one of which is what you mentioned, the Zambian Genius. With such programs, you bring in, specifically with the Zambian Genius, I saw it at episodes, from episode 1, I don't know if it's part 1, episodes 2, I think it should have gone to
season 8.
Yeah. Just tell us the idea behind that, and what kept you producing such innovations, because for it to even go up to that number of episodes.
In 2017 into 2018, I was asleep in the night, and then I remembered some conversations that we've had with friends, and generally what people say about Zambians. You and I will agree that people say that there's nothing good that has come out of Zambian engineers, for example.
Yeah.
And time and again, we hear a statement that even toothpicks are ordered from China. Zambia doesn't create anything. When I woke up in the middle of the night, I remembered and said, you know what? I think it's time to showcase what the Zambians are able to do. I'll call this program the Zambian Genius. So I woke up, got a pen, wrote the title there.
Born from a dream.
Yes. Wrote it down there, and then just a sentence. The title, the Zambian Genius, and then a sentence that will describe what this program is about. I'll finish off in the morning. Pretty much what musicians say, that they usually sleep and then they wake up, then they write a song. I think that's what happened to me on that night. So then I went back to sleep. When I woke up, I did the concept, and then I took it to the system at ZNBC, because each program, before it goes on air, they need to scrutinize it as a committee. Does it fit the standards? You will be shocked that when I presented it, it was shot down.
Oh.
Yeah. There was a suggestion from within somewhere. Somebody approached me and said, you know what, your idea is good, yes, but it doesn't qualify Zambians to fit in the description of the program.
To be the
Called
geniuses.
Zambian. Yes.
So someone shot
Thought
this Zambian genius
down, that because Zambians
cannot
may not fit
to
in
be-
the description. When I was a DJ, I started out as a radio announcer, which is DJ. I came up with my stage name, DJ Great. The same came, and they said, you know, DJ Great is an exaggeration. Great is like big, like, you know, super. And then I said, okay, I'll try to fit in the same.
to be the greatest.
Yes! Let me see if I can fit. I think I fitted well in the name DJ Great. Even now, it hasn't died. I've got friends that still don't prefer to call me Sam. They call me DJ Great, and I still respond to it. So the same happened to the Zambian genius. But there was this thing boiling inside of me and saying, you know what? This still has to work out. So I went back and said, the Zambian genius will now, one day has to find itself on television. How do I do that? So the suggestion that came from a person that gave me the evaluation told me that, you know what you can do, maybe reduce it down. Call it simply genius or something like that. I said, no, it will stand as the Zambian genius. But I'll find a way to have it on TV. Either way. So I went in the background. I communicated to one of the marketing persons. I knew that if it had sponsors, because NBC wants money, if it comes as a sponsored program, it will work. So I spoke to one of the marketing guys, and then he bought into the idea and said, this is a good idea. Then I asked him to, he was a marketer responsible for handling the contracts for Rockview University. Yeah, and Rockview University, the owner is a person I know very well. Even before then, Professor Lupambo Tshala. He's a Jehovah's Witness, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. So we knew each other way back. So then I told him, can I meet him? I know that you handle his contracts and they advertise through you here at ZNBC. Then he said, no problem. Let's go so that you could. I met him at Rockview University, then based in Leopards Hill Road there. We had a chat. I presented him the idea. Then I said, look, your university has these innovators and things like that. So can you ride on this platform? He said, wow, this sounds great. Okay, you go and produce, then bring the first episode and then see what we can do. I spoke to one of my friends, Stan Peary. He's now working with Parliament TV. And then he's the one that just sat down within ZNBC. He went on the computer. Within 30 minutes, he came up with that logo that you see there. And it resonated really well with the idea. I was like, wow, this is great. And then after that, we produced one episode. Some friends, one editor that I've always worked with until now, Henry, we call it Hit. We call him Hitter, Henry the Hitter. He's one of the editors at ZNBC. We went out in the field to film the first act. It was a struggle to find the first person to film because we had never done it.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to start looking for who can I feature who is, genius to live up to this description. I came across, I think should be a write-up or something. Joseph Lungu. He had designed an electric car, something like that. So, not electric, but a car, a Zambian made.
Yes.
They broke down some, they picked some pieces and then put together a car. He was based in Kamanga then with his young brother. I located him and then that's where we went. We did the first episode. Then we took it to Professor Lupambo. He said, wow, this is good. Let's go ahead. That's how we paid for the production. Paid the guys that were assisting us to film, and then paid ZNBC for airing the program. Then I took that program, first production, to my head of operations and production in TV1, Honorable Melesiana Chibwe Milanzi, Member of Parliament now. She was our head. So I gave it to her. Oh, boss, this is a program now. It comes as a sponsored by... okay. Let me evaluate it before it goes on air. So she goes through it. I left with the CD and I left. When I came back, she told me, you know what? This is what TV has been waiting for. Really? She says yes. And she gave me a few tips here and there. This is good. We'll go ahead. That's how in February of 2018, the Zambian Genius started airing. And we did, under sponsorship of Rockview University, we did 3 seasons of 13 series each. By the time Rockview was saying, okay, we are done, the budgeting for this, we don't seem to have, we had already gained ground. And that is how we started, and here we are today.
Wow. Interesting. You had passion for the program, and I think we saw, for some of us who were just watching it on TV and on social media, we couldn't see what was happening in the background, but we only saw the results of the sweat.
Yes.
And you had to put in so that dream is executed and carried out as perfectly as it was. And where were the people who were saying it cannot work out?
Well, those, I don't call such as negatives. It's what makes you, try to work extra hard to prove that there's something here. When you wake up today and you have a business idea, you need to go and look for funding.
Yes.
You don't expect a funder to just say, okay, here's 50,000 kwacha because you said you want funding. No. They'll tell you what's the idea. And the idea has to be convincing. I watch a lot of international TV. There's a program called The Lion's Den. There, people present their business ideas to business gurus. You have to convince this business person for him to buy shares into your company. And you have to be very convincing. Even if your idea is so juicy, but if you fail to convince them, they will not buy it. I don't take that as a negative. It is what encouraged me to ensure that I prove that Zambians have got ingenuity and they are genius for real. And so that gave me that. And today, the discussions are good. The Zambian Genius is one of the most appreciated programs, I believe, by ZNBC management. The Director General himself is very interested. Past Director Generals have been committed to it. There are times when I feel like I'm tired, but because of the viewers, the people on Facebook, they keep requesting for it. Ministers are watching it. Big business people are watching it. I had an interaction. One of the CEOs of the big bank in Zambia called me, and I took some of the innovators there, and she said, this is a great program. We need to just find ways on how we can consolidate and see how we can push the agenda. So it's a good thing that we have people that make you to think twice, so that you can be more convincing that what you are presenting is worth it.
Interesting. What would you point at one of the projects, the innovations you filmed? What stood most for you? I know most of the projects stand out exceptionally well explained, executed, and if like you are saying, most of our policy makers or decision makers were to take keen interest, would actually see ourselves as a developed country because of just the innovation and the kind of brains we have. We can tap in such brains. But for you personally, what are some of the projects that have stood out in this program?
I'll ride on what you've said. All these innovations that we've covered are super in their own way. You push me against the wall to ask me which one stands out. It's a crazy idea that I know one day the developed countries will adopt, and they'll probably come up with one, and then all of us will be recipients and will think like any Zambian did never think about it. A man called Zephaniah Piri is based in Kalikiliki. He had to get 2 cars, chop this car, chop the other car, join them, and then have no reverse but forward. For me, that's an insane idea that the world doesn't have now, but I see it one day. It's coming. Imagine a vehicle, that which you park facing this side. If there's a offense this side, you don't need to go this side and start reversing. Instead, you get
The other side.
to the other side and just drive off.
Oh my.
You see that? For me, that's
a crazy
one of,
idea.
yeah, it's a crazy idea. When I posted this on Facebook, people were saying, you know what smoking does? Everyone think Zephaniah smokes, but those are the crazy ideas that we want. So he had to make 2 golf cars, G-wagons,
Yeah.
and he had to modify everything so that when you park it this way, next you're driving out through the other way. Nothing like reverse. For him, he doesn't like reversing. But there was a very good mechanism which he developed, because if you let the steering on the other side, which you parked, loose, it means your driving will be wobbly and you may cause an accident. So he developed a mechanism where he could lock the steering and then lock the gears again on the other side, so that the other gears will be the one now responsible for you to drive back. That's how crazy that idea is. And I fear one day these developed countries will come up with a car that will never have a reverse but forward.
Forward, yeah. And it's something that would have generated from Zambia.
Absolutely.
One of our geniuses.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you. That's an interesting idea, and I think we want to still continue watching the Zambian genius in our social media platforms and of course on our television, the national broadcaster. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Smart Podcast. My guest today, veteran broadcaster and of course journalist. He told me not to call him Uncle Sam. Sam!
Thank you.
And of course, our podcast is being sponsored by Elitrasmart Medical Supplies Limited, your #1 medical attire. And of course, so if you're a nurse, student nurse, you're working a profession already in different offices or different hospitals or healthcare facilities, you can call or visit Elitrasmart Medical Supplies offices countrywide. They have stores in Kitwe, Choma, Chipata, and of course in Lusaka, and the numbers are scrolling down on the screen. So get in touch and get yourself that medical attire, which is durable, and of course for you to look smart. Sam, you've mentioned quite a very interesting journey in your media industry. Just I know you've mentioned of one of the challenge where you had some of your ideas being shot down because others felt that Zambians were short of being what someone can refer to as geniuses. They cannot do much. But what are some of the challenges you've encountered, and how did you handle them?
Broadcasting in general has its own challenges. Yes, every day we have that challenge of presenting idea, even in the newsroom. Mm-hmm. The news that you watch, people may have presented 3-4 ideas and only one pass for you to go out in the field and bring us a news story. It's a beautiful thing to challenge our minds in creativity. One of the challenges I've faced in broadcasting is to have to live up to the changes in the industry. Today we are in the digital era. The time I was starting out, we were in analog. And analog meant that we needed to use CDs, for example. We had floppy disks come in, we had tapes. And then suddenly 2012 came October, there was that international switch to the digital world. So that's one of the major challenges, to adapt to the change that came in technologically. But suffice to say that that's the world we are living in now. It's about changes, and change is inevitable. You need to adapt to the new changes that are coming in. Slowly but surely, we've had to get used to doing multiple things at the same time. When I started out as a radio person. In 2016, I was switched to television. As I speak now, I've been switched to the newsroom. So those are the changes that I've had to deal with. and to quickly adopt.
Oh, I saw a report. Is it yesterday in cholera?
Oh yes, those are the things now I have to deal with. Those are some of the new things that I have. So those are a few challenges that I find them very attractive because they test my ability to be able to adapt quickly. And I can safely say most of the people that I've worked with are able to attest to the fact that I'm a fast learner and quick to settle. Yeah.
How are you finding the newsroom now?
It has its own challenges, one of which is it has opened up my eyes to be more objective and honest, and also to have an eye for news. A journalist has those qualities from the word go. From classroom setup, we are told you are supposed to have nose for news and eye for detail and things like that. But when you are in the newsroom, because that's your daily bread now, you need to think of a story. You need to think of what angle you take. Yeah. So
Newsworthy.
yeah, it's challenging, but slowly. This is like 3 months now down the line. I think I'm settling.
Keeping up well.
Yeah.
Okay. Your experience has given your profession has given you experiences and of course opportunities to host events. You highlighted to one where you hosted 4 heads of states, massive, big achievement. Elitrasmart Medical Supplies Limited this year in 2025 is hosting the national quiz for student nurses, diploma expected nurses. To be the quiz master, how does that align and how do you feel for you to host such a national event speaking to education in the health sector?
First and foremost, I'm excited, looking forward to the challenge. It's a new experience for me. I may have experience with these other events. This is a unique event altogether. And reaching out to me and thinking that I'm equal to the task, that is one thing that I say thank you to the management of Elitrasmart. And I can't wait for it. I look forward to putting in my best. It's really an honor when you are given the trust by the people that you carry out certain assignments which you least expect to have been given. And well, it's something that resonates well with the passion that I have for education, because Elitrasmart aspires to empower those in the medical field predominantly, and they are making sure that people in the medical field stay on their toes in terms of studies, academic know-how and things like that. I think we should be able to encourage such events, because only then can we keep these students busy for them to even attain good results and later on remain grounded in the profession, because we need a person that's always busy looking to. Remember, those in the medical field are dealing with our lives. We want people that are well versed with knowledge on how to treat us. So if we to let them be lazing around, we are not helping the situation. Elitrasmart has come on board and crafted this national smart quiz for those in diploma level of medical education, so that they can be able to remain active in their studies, so that they may even remain relevant. I've seen the posts that people have shared and how excited they are looking forward to it. And this, I remember the preparation started like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Now you can imagine it's over a quarter and people are busy studying.
Oh yeah.
That is a good challenge.
Busy studying for the quiz. In
Absolutely.
essence, studying
Yes.
for their exams.
You see? Yeah.
Okay. So now let's talk about a little bit about the quiz and its contribution to the growth and development of student nurses and young professionals in general. How should they take such opportunities?
Grab it. An opportunity like this comes up, grab it. I know these students have to participate through a school, and it takes the management to make a decision to be able to maybe facilitate for them to participate. And we can only call upon all those universities and colleges that offer such diploma courses to step up and give an opportunity to the learners to get exposed. I'll tell you, if I grew up in Lusaka, I think I could have even become a better English speaker.
But you are good.
Yes, it's all because of exposition. I started school from a rural setting in Kabwe, where we didn't speak English.
Huh?
We spoke Swaka, Lenje. There were Tongas there, and Isindevere, a few people in the location. So, for us, vernacular speaking was the in thing. From grade 1 to grade 7. When I came back to Lusaka to start my grade 8 and 9, exposure, suddenly I became eloquent. Now, imagine these are medical students. They need the exposure now if they are to even have more confidence to conquer the medical environment as they get to graduate. Such forums, they help students to interact, share notes, get to learn what others are. We may be learning the same syllabi, but it's how you apply yourself. How are the others applying? I'm happy that there are some university representatives from college representatives from Zambezi that reached out to me because they saw an ad there in which I was appearing, and they were inquiring about the Smart Quiz through me. And they were telling me about how they would like to participate, how many students they want to bring in, and how they are looking forward to. So you see, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
So these opportunities, we need ready to grab them, make the students get exposed. When we do that, at least we are creating an atmosphere where there's going to be that interlink. There's no Lusaka, there's no Zambezi, but in terms of education, we'll all be sunk together.
Interesting. It's interesting. I think the quiz has received quite a massive attraction. I think as we speak now, each province as a representation in terms of schools participating. I think of those ones registered now, over 20 are participating. And I think, like you have said, it's one of the opportunities school management should grab and make their students exposed. I think it's best for their schools also.
Absolutely.
And it's good for the students also to get exposed, and of course help them in their academic spaces even as they prepare for the exams. Now, just also many of the people, many of us are going to look at you in your media spaces as a mentor and someone who is able to actually give guidance to many of the young ones, either from the media industry, healthcare. They would want to get one or two from you. So, your experience, what are we expecting in terms of your attributes to gain? What should they look forward to when they see Sam on stage asking them questions?
I love to be unpredictable. I don't like to be predicted, but I can tell you that in each and every assignment I'm given, I always aim to bring my A game to it. This is a new challenge that's been posed to me. I can't wait to have the Levi Mwanawasa Medical University auditorium filled up, and then let's see how many are there. And of course, I don't like to be called a motivational speaker. Mine is reality. I speak from reality. Some of the stories that I've shared are true depiction of what I've gone through. And in there, I'm going to talk to the masses that will be around. Obviously, the script is already made, the questions are already done. It's just about how we apply ourselves to ensure that those participating as students play along. But I know that we are going to have an opportunity to share one or two. So expect a lot of motivational aspects. I don't believe in someone to motivate you to step up your game. No. I believe in motivation from yourself. The next person can only tell you to say, my friend, let's continue. But anyway, the world being what it is, we all need those kind of motivational tips and things like that. So we expect quite a lot to come out. 3 days will be good.
Okay, interesting. And your platforms like the Smart-25, of course, inspire and bring about different minds and perspective. Most of the students sure your personality is not so much that is I doubt if someone will be intimidated. But how?
No intimidation, no. I think I'm one of the friendly faces around in the media circles. But anyway, each person has their own perception of you. It depends on where they found you, how they found you, what they heard you say. Someone will say, I don't like Machishi. Maybe because of the environment that they found me. Maybe I was busy and I was rushing somewhere, so I didn't greet them. So they'll take it, that guy. He's just busy. He's full of pretense. He's full of himself because of that encounter.
What you see is not what you get.
Yes, another person will find maybe I'm walking in the neighborhood and I'm in slippers. I'm looking not well bathed according to them, and then to them they'll pick. Look at the media personalities of today. He's just walking and things like that. We hear such stories. But it's how they found you and at what point. So people don't analyze, they don't go around. Others will go by the comments that you had put up maybe via social media, the interaction that you had on Facebook and things like that. So they'll create a description of you based on that particular encounter. All in all, I don't expect people to get intimidated in the auditorium because we'll bring the atmosphere to radio presentation, television presentation is about being crafted in a certain way. So there's a certain way that we want this quiz to come out, and we want it to be attractive, to have the pomp and splendor. Let everyone be excited about it. We are going to witness the battle of brains in there. So we can only say, wherever you are coming from, get ready for an electric atmosphere.
Interesting. And beyond academic benefits for these students, what else should they look for in terms of what comes with the quiz afterwards? Does it end that you being participating as a student?
No, not at all. In fact, such events open up more opportunities for you. Remember, like we said, it's about interactions. A lot of people are coming in there, not only students. There's going to be people from the medical fraternity at a bigger scale, from universities, from Ministry of Health. Zambia National Public Health Institute is under the Ministry of Health. So officials will come from there. Media personalities will be there. Not only just myself, I know that the Master of Ceremony is an icon in his own way in the world of comedy and media. So there's going to be a lot of interactions from there. We are going to share one or two tips. And then even as you go, the conversations continue. Who knows the next opportunity that you're going to have? You may also find yourself back in the capital. To, even after school, you may clinch one or two deals through the quiz.
The quiz, interesting. And I think the awards are designed in a very special way, because it's not just about awarding the school which will stand out as the winner. Of course, the second runner-up will be awarded, but also the best performing students will be awarded.
The tutor, the tutor also will get to be awarded. So everyone walks out with something. But out of all, we can say nobody is a loser. All those participating colleges are coming in to bring their expertise, and the knowledge that we'll get out of them is what matters, because they'll share some unique aspects of themselves as they participate in this, and that as they go back, they'll know that at an individual level, maybe I need to do ABCD for me to attend this particular diploma or qualification, or ultimately the career itself. So we'll have a lot of testimonies coming in there.
And Elitrasmart hosted the Smart-25, and I think the last year's event quiz was Lusaka. So this year is national. But how do you think initiatives like what Elitrasmart is doing in the health sector how do you think we should sustain such initiatives? What should be done? What should be done right? What should not be done for us not to lose track of such wonderful and great initiatives? Of course, meant to benefit the country, because when we educate a workforce which is young, the results benefits the healthcare and the community. But how do you think we should sustain such initiatives?
Sustainable Development Goal number 17 speaks to collaboration. all the sustainable development goals from SDG number 1 to SDG number 16. If all these are to be achieved, SDG number 17 has to take center stage. SDG number 17 calls for collaboration. It's only collaboration that can see us win. They say, if you want to walk far, what do? You walk with others, isn't it?
Yes.
You can walk faster as an individual. But if you want to reach far, you need to have some company, because then you can share ideas and be able to lift each other up just in case somebody falls ill, they are tired. You have someone to lean on, and then you can take a longer journey. So SDG number 17 has to kick in. I'm impressed because the passion that I've seen from the MD of Elitrasmart speaks to how, we can be able to sustain this particular movement. I remember sharing with him that it's a good idea. You started with provincial Lusaka, now it's national. To authenticate the national, let's take it to provincial. And he said, wow, that's a great idea. We have 10 provinces. So start by provincial and then come up to the national. So the provinces will have battled it out, and then take the creme de la creme, bring them to national. And then he said, wow, that's a good idea. So let's have as many ideas come through as possible. But then again, Elitrasmart, we know the expenses that are involved in all this. This is why Elitrasmart, for it to manage to host such an event, we need other hands to come in as partners. Not only that, we call upon the corporate world as well that may have the interest of making sure that this movement, which aims at making sure that the brains in the medical field are kept, active in their education, to come on board and partner with Elitrasmart so that this can be sustained, because one component of the education sector will be kept very active. All in all, we want a holistic. Remember, if we can have a national quiz in the health sector, national quiz maybe in the engineering world, we will have cut at all sectors in this. But for now, the movement has already started. An idea has kicked in. Can we have as many supporters, as many well-wishers as possible to partner with Elitrasmart so that this can go?
Yeah, and that will be, I think, one of the good things the corporate world can do in terms of helping and sustaining such initiatives. Because if it's left with one entity, they might be stretched financially, and looking towards what they would want to do next year, they'll be like, we didn't receive any corporate help. So I think, like you've rightly put it, we need a lot of stakeholders to come on board and see from just different. I think we have a lot from the business, the health, who can come on board and, okay, so let's sponsor this award, let's sponsor that award. And I think the awards are genuinely fair in terms of amounts. The 30,000, 20,000, 10,000, 5,000.
With more people coming on board, we can actually even hit up to 50,000.
50,000.
How nice that would be.
Yeah, thank you. So you are watching the Smart Podcast, of course, being sponsored by Elitrasmart Medical Supplies Limited, your number one producer of medical attire. So if you're a student nurse, a nurse working at that healthcare facility, reach out to Elitrasmart Medical Supplies Limited stores for you to have those uniforms, your neat and durable uniforms. Sam, as we conclude, we see you around running the newsroom. I have a little bit of experience in the newsroom, quite busy. And of course, for you, you have your personal life, you have your professional life. How do you balance up this?
It's easy. You have to take what you are supposed to do at each time as something that you can focus on. And then, of course, later on, you have family time. For me, every week, now in the new unit where I've been posted, we have a roster that goes the whole year, the whole month. And then when it is drawn, you look at what you're doing on which day, when you're off and things like that. It's easy for me to juggle. I'm a student as well. I'm studying French at Alliance Française. That is added. So I have family, I've got my school, obviously spiritual programs there, and then you've got work. Yeah, so I know the time that I'm working, I focus on work. When I'm home, I focus on my children, my wife, and things like that. at the weekend and during the week when I'm supposed to be part of spiritual programs, I've been able to juggle to be part of the big spiritual family so that I can find some spiritual encouragement from my fellow congregants. It's about balancing. Look at your schedule. I agree now that there was a time when you could call someone and they would say they are busy. But you can never be so busy that you can't find time to do certain things. It's not true. Maybe the president. Yeah, but even him has time. He knows he has family to attend to and he has friends to attend to on a personal level. He should be able to find those times. So it's about knowing what to do at what time. Demarcate your activities. Yeah, apportion time to your activities. And then all will be well.
Out of curiosity, you had mentioned sparing time with family and everything else. I'm just thinking, okay. How did you meet your wife?
An amazing story. You don't want to hear it in a minute. Yeah. It's a pity. My first wife died in 2018. We had just spent about 2 years together. And then I took about 5 years trying to find myself. She left me with a daughter. She was 1 year and 10 months then. But immediately I took her into school. I used to be in Kamara South near here. So the school that I had taken her to, she was too young at that time, but they were so willing to see if they could, be able to nurture her, because standard age for baby class is 2 years, 5 months, 2 years, 6 months. But she was 1 year, 10 months. So she was way below, yeah. But the owner of the school said, okay, I'll try. So she used to take her in and she's, I think we'll manage. 3 years down the line, 3-4 years down the line, one of their daughters was studying in India. Yeah, so I had bought a jersey for my daughter, but they were not giving it to me because they ordered from South Africa and the jerseys had not come in. So I kept knocking on their doors. Look, it's getting cold. I need them. So on this day when I went there, I saw somebody look strange, like walk past them. I was like, oh, okay. It's probably one of those parents also to collect their children at 15, 13. And I went back. Then again, when I came to knock now to get the same jersey again, I saw the same lady. Okay. The third time I said, I think that one should be from within. So it's my daughter that made me meet my wife. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For now, I'll say that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, we'll get the full story later.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's quite an interesting story. And as we sum it up, over 20 years with ZNBC down the line, what's the way forward? Are you planning on leaving anytime soon?
The DG is watching. Leaving ZNBC, it's possible. They say every time when you are in this position, change is inevitable. One day you might find yourself onto the other side. I can't lie to you that I've had other opportunities that could have already gotten me out of ZNBC. Yeah, but it's about being systematic. You need to calculate your moves. Yeah, so that you don't regret at the end of the day. And when you make a move, it should be a move that you believe is the best move for you. The reason why I left Trade Kings, in fact, I was fired from Trade Kings because of constantly going to ZNBC and missing work. I wasn't getting anything from ZNBC. I was getting a salary from Trade Kings, and then they fired me. I went on the streets to nothing and continued to do voluntary work at ZNBC. Why? Because I believed, even if I'm not getting paid now, in the long run, this is where my bread and butter is. And that's what I have now. If I am to move out of ZNBC, it should be to something that's even better as well. I'm okay. If I move, it's for the better.
Interesting.
That's what I can tell you.
Interesting. No. We are happy to see you at ZNBC.
Thank you.
And if that comes to the time comes for you to leave, I mean, everyone else should, yeah.
Mhm.
But also, we have young ones who are looking at you casting news, who are looking at you presenting shows, hosting national events, and they would want to go into the media. Most of the guys, when they want to study journalism or mass communication, they will be told the only place they will work for is at NBC, but all the jobs are taken.
That's
What?
the thought. That's the thought.
That's their thought.
If I had that thought, I wasn't going to persevere until I get it. And others say, you can't get a job as NBC. How? You need connections. That's one notion that a lot of young people should get out of their minds. The more you say that, the more opportunities you give to others who have the name like I had. To say, I will get there. It doesn't matter what it takes. I never had a relative as NBC. Neither do I have a relative now. But I persisted. And the authorities were saying, there's a little guy here who is so persistent. Does he have the talent? Let's listen to him. He's got what it takes. Does he have papers? They came and advised me, you know what? We can't pick you. You have what it takes. You have the voice, you have the creativity, the charisma. We can't pick you because you have no paper. I started looking into, I was an orphan then. But I said, let me do it. I had to go and get a paper. So you can, whichever career you are into, there is always space for you. It's a national cake. Each one of us has a piece to bite, but only for those that want to get the piece. You can have a big piece of cake here, and they say, go and grab. If you don't reach for it, no one will get it and put it in your mouth. It's you to have to work hard and get it. And that's what I did. So everyone out there, what you see me do today, it's because it's my time. I'm in the space. I've always told the people that I talk to that for me, I don't believe and I don't think I'm the best presenter on TV. I'm the best newscaster. I'm the best presenter, MC. No. When I'm there, it's my time. So I make sure I do my best. So I'm looking forward to doing the best, not being the best that you are perceiving. If you think I'm the best, it's you. Thank you very much. For me, that's I'm trying to do my level best. I believe I'm not the best. The best is out there. It's just that he or she doesn't have an opportunity to be in my seat. If they had an opportunity to sit on that same desk to cast the news, they may be better than I am. But for now, this is my turn. So you have no choice but to watch me. So let me do my job. So tomorrow, if you continue, we are going to watch you. So keep on the track.
Your wish to student nurses participating in the Smart-25?
You got what it takes to scoop the prize, top prize. You've got what it takes to emerge the best student. You have the capacity to show us, how it's done. It's a national quiz. Bring it on. For now, drink a lot of water. Stay away from alcohol if you can. We only have a few weeks to go before the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th of October 2025. You want to bring your A game. So the best you can is give yourself a lot of rest. Go through a lot of those, I don't know if topics have been given or things like that. Do all you can to prepare so that as you come to Lusaka, when you hear Lusaka, yes, there are Lusaka colleges that are going to participate, but it doesn't say that Lusaka is heaven. No. Heaven may come from where you are in Shangoma. So bring it on.
Interesting. Well, thanks to Elitrasmart for organizing such a national event. Thank you very much, Sam, for joining me on the Smart podcast.
Thank you, Gift.
Thank you. How does it feel to be interviewed? To sit on the other side?
I'm getting used to it because I've had quite a lot of invitations to do such. Now I'm getting used.
Interesting.
It was very difficult in the first instances. Yeah.
Interesting. No, I get used to it because I think instead of you sitting on the other side, would want to hear more from you. Such massive experience would want to tap, and of course, it's such information and knowledge that when you share to many people would want to get and say, no, I can study journalism, I can study mass comm, I can study nursing. I don't need to wait for the government to deploy me.
True.
I can still work with NGOs, community-based organization, and everything else for me to find a living. Thank you very much once more. And thank you very much, our dear viewers, for staying with us on the Smart Podcast, which is being sponsored by Elitrasmart Medical Supplies Limited. Of course, your number one provider of medical attire. Like we always say, if you're a student nurse, you're a nurse, or working in the hospital or that healthcare facility, Elitrasmart has you covered because they produce durable and, of course, one of the cleanest uniforms you can ever see in the health profession. Thank you very much for watching, and of course, see you in the next episode.